Well, thanks for having me here. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to talk too much about myself. I'll mainly just answer your guys' questions. But for those of you that don't know about me, I'll just give a little history. I grew up here. Actually, I lived in Napomo for the first 12 years of my life, and then I went to St. Pat's Elementary School. Grew up playing a bunch of different sports. I did volleyball, basketball, and swimming. But then my main thing was I just loved to run. In PE class, I would be in school just sitting on the edge of the chair like this, just waiting to go out and run the laps, which most people hate. But I just loved to go out there, and I was beating all the boys. So actually in 4th grade, I joined the 7th and 8th grade track team and won my first race against all the 8th graders. And actually it brings back memories being here. I remember being out at this track when I was in 7th and 8th grade and racing the older girls, and just grew up loving it and fell in love with it. And then went to mission prep for high school, and when I was a freshman, you guys probably know about the Foot Locker cross country. I won that my freshman senior years in high school, and then went on to University of Oregon for college, and won 2 NCAA titles there, 17-time All-American, or 18, I don't remember, someone kept track. And then now I run professionally for Nike, and I ran the 5K, 10K on the track for a couple years, did the Olympic trials 3 times, and now I run the marathon. I was unfortunately injured this last year, but in 2017 I was 3rd in the Boston Marathon in the fastest debut American time, 2 hours 23 minutes, and then in Chicago Marathon I ran the 2nd fastest American time ever in the marathon, 2 hours 20 minutes. So that's kind of what I do now, and yeah, I'm just prepping for a spring marathon now. So marathon probably seems pretty long, but when I was your guys' age, I was just doing the same thing as you guys out in cross country, and I think it's just so awesome that you guys have so many girls out, and that you guys seem like you're just a great group, and it's just cool to see you guys all having fun with it. And so I won't talk too much more, but I just want to answer your guys' questions if you have any, which hopefully you do. Or I can also keep talking, but yeah, I'll open it up to questions.
Yeah. So like, did you ever feel like incompetent against the guys? Because sometimes like guys I feel like they think of themselves superior as like a runner sometimes, or even like as gender roles. Like, how do you think of that, or how did you go through that?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I definitely did. I feel like, well, they just feel like they're better than you, right? That they're just gonna beat you. But I just was kind of, I think it's good to be like quietly confident. So just kind of work really hard, and then just go out there. And I remember like they would be just talking me down, saying, "Oh, we're gonna get you," but I would just go out and show them how it was done. So I think just like put your running to the talking, and don't worry about what they say or being a girl. Just know that you're working as hard as them, and you're all out there just doing the same thing. Yeah.
When you were running back mission prep for your, what was your normal mileage for the week?
Oh yeah. So when I was in high school, actually I was only running maybe 40 miles a week, so it was pretty low, 30 to 40. I did quite a bit of swimming, and yeah, just kept it pretty low, and would still run with the team every day. So it was real low, and then in college it kind of progressed to 80, and now I'm up at like 120 to 130. So it really, over the years, it's progressed.
Did I go 120 miles a week?
But I don't know how I could have done that when I was your guys' age, because now, a question I get often is like just going through my day. So as a professional athlete, I'll wake up 7:30 or 8, have breakfast, and then kind of stretch, foam roll for 30 or 40 minutes, go out for my run, and if I have a workout that's on the track, anywhere from 12 to 15 miles, or I'll just have an easy run, 10 to 11 miles, and then come back, have a snack, go strength train for an hour, 2 hours, and then come back, do a little bit more rehab. I might have massage, I might have acupuncture, just some sort of treatment, and then I'll go home and I get to take a 2 or 3 hour nap. So that's a luxury I didn't have in high school. I was like, you guys just having to study. So then I'll get to read and nap and rest, and then I'll wake up, do my second run, which is a little bit shorter than the morning, anywhere from 6 to 7 miles. Do about 30, 40 minutes more of rehab, stretching, that sort of thing, and then have dinner, watch a TV show or two. I really like Friends and Grey's Anatomy. Those are my favorites. Or watch a movie, and then, I just go to sleep. And that repeats every single day. So it's a lot of hard work and routine, but it just ends up becoming a lifestyle, and you kind of fall in love with it. Yeah.
What do you think is the most difficult thing about running? Or what has been the hardest thing for you in running?
The most difficult thing, I think it's just like, for me, I've always had to struggle with nerves, so I would get really nervous before races, especially when I was your guys' age. But I've learned now to just like embrace that, so you're never gonna get rid of it. I remember other professional athletes when I was younger would come talk, and that was always the question, like, how do you get rid of it? And I was sitting in the chair like you guys thinking, oh, well, when I'm their age, I won't be nervous before races, but I'm just as nervous, I'll tell you right now. But I've just learned to embrace it, so I see it as a positive thing, and when I get really nervous, I say, oh, this means I'm ready, this means that I know I've put a bunch of hard work into this, and that I'm going to toe the line. And now I get nervous if I'm not nervous, because then I'm like, oh, well, maybe I'm not going to do well. So I think just embrace those nerves and see it as a good thing, and if you can just channel that into excitement and enjoy the time with your teammates and just go out and do your best. That's always, I think that's helped me to calm down over the years, though, is that I know that just go out there and do your best, and that's really all you can do, and then you're going to have no regrets at the end of the race. Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. So what has been like the coolest thing that's ever happened to you during your professional running career?
The coolest thing, well, I think my best race, my favorite race, I guess, is just finishing my first marathon in Boston. I didn't think I was going to do as well, and then I finished third and ran just a fast time. In the Boston Marathon is obviously very historic, so that's been pretty neat. Just a lot of cool experiences. I feel really blessed. I get to travel to a lot of different countries. I've run in London, I've run in Prague, I've run in, where else have I run? Kenya. There's a lot of different, I've run in Moscow, Russia. So the opportunity to be able to travel the world and meet different people has just been a huge blessing. So you guys keep it up, and you'll get to travel a bunch as well. Yeah.
They say that running like helps you grow mentality, like mentally stronger. Did you ever have a breaking point, and how did you overcome it?
Definitely, that's a really good question. Yeah, there's obviously going to be those difficult patches in any race or any workout, and when I get to those, I just like to have a mantra that I think of. So it depends on each race and each season, but it could just be something simple as you got this, or you can do it, or you just kind of remember those hard workouts that you've done and preparation, or think of your teammates or family. I think of my family a lot, and that helps me to get through, and I just tell myself to stay calm and breathe and be really tough, and you kind of get to this level of pain where you just have to, you embrace the pain, so don't be afraid of it. I think that can sometimes be what slows you down, is when you have this fear of the pain, but it's about overcoming the pain and getting through it, and just thinking about how proud you are of yourself. I mean, you guys have all had these moments, I'm sure, when you really just want to give up and you keep pushing through, and then you cross that line and you're just dead exhausted, but it's just, that's kind of the runner's high. That's what you fall in love with. So just learning to fall in love with the pain. I think it is a skill, but over time it kind of like, it comes and you end up like wanting that pain to an extent. Yeah.
When you were younger, did you want to be a professional runner?
I did. Yeah, I always, even when I was as young as the 4th grade, I was saying, oh, I want to be in the Olympics someday. And I never really thought though that I would be able to make it to this level. So I just feel super blessed, and I never took it for granted. So I still worked really hard in school. I was valedictorian at Mission Prep, and then I got a business degree at Oregon. So I think it's important to continue working hard in school and not just focus on the running, but just kind of be a well-rounded person, because that's going to help you with athletics at the end of the day too, just working hard in everything that you do. Yeah?
How are you able to manage schoolwork and running?
Right. I think it's a big time management thing. So my advice is to get a lot of work done when you're traveling. So you guys probably travel for races. So I would try to do my homework when we were like in the van or whatever, if you can, and kind of catch up on it on the weekends. So get a lot done on the weekends, but then also, yeah, just like being really diligent about it so that you can get your sleep and rest and recovery, because that's super important for running. So scheduling it out, I really liked I had a little organizer where I just write out, checklists of things that I need to do. So I think scheduling it out is my main advice. Yeah.
Some of the girls on the team they've missed a couple, or maybe the past race or the past 2 races because they've been hurting a little bit too much, battling, some injuries. And I know that you dropped out of your latest race. How do you stay motivated to continue to keep running, or what is your thought process as you are unable to race?
Right, yeah, it's definitely a big disappointment. I had a stress fracture in my heel this year, so I had to pull out of Boston and Chicago marathons. I healed up in the spring and then it came back, so it was definitely super frustrating, disappointing, but my main advice would be that you choose whether you're going to be positive or negative. So just try to choose happiness. Don't get down on yourself too much. Don't beat yourself up about it, because that's just going to make your injury not heal. They say that if you're happy, things are going to heal, and you're going to get a good momentum. So just do the best that you can to heal the injury and make that your #1 priority. So don't worry about the hard training or missing the race. Just the mental stress is just going to slow the injury down, the healing process down. So just focus on rest, recovery, and then just look forward to the next goal and see it as an opportunity to work on whatever you need to work on. If your injury was in your foot, then figure out how you can strengthen your feet, or if it was your hamstring, just do some hamstring exercises or whatever it is. And I'm sure Steven has some good advice for you guys, and he knows all that stuff, so make sure you just communicate with him. I think that's important. Don't try to push through anything. So I think that's good that you guys miss those races. Just see it as a good thing, but know that you can. It's kind of cliche that they say you'll come back stronger, but you really will. You'll be that much more motivated. Yeah. Yes, I definitely do. So I tried out for the Olympics 3 times, but I haven't made the team yet. So in February 2020 is when the Olympic trials are for the marathon. So that's my main goal right now, is just in about a year and a half to make that team, and you have to be top 3. And then another goal is just to win a major marathon. So I hope to do that in the future years. I'm pretty young for the marathon. I'm 27, and typically you run until you're 37, 38, so I've got a good 10 more years coming up to try to win marathons. And then the American record for the marathon is 2:19:36, so I have to drop 82 seconds, which is not that much in a marathon, so we'll see. That I was hoping to do that this year, but that would be a major goal this year, is to try to get the American record. Yeah.
How long do you think running professionally?
Yeah, hopefully, well, so the Olympics are going to be in LA in 2028, and I'll be 37, so hopefully another 10 years. I'd like to try to run in that Olympics. I think it'd be pretty cool to run in the US in the Olympics. Yeah.
When you're running a marathon, what's your favorite process? What do you think about when you're running?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Well, first off, the marathon is a really long way, so you got to definitely break it down into parts. And to be honest, usually after 1 or 2 miles, I just feel really tired and I feel terrible. So I accept that in every long run. And I think it's all about the journey, right? So it's about my preparation. So I'm always practicing. In every long run, I'm kind of visualizing myself, where I'm going to be on whatever course I'm running. So when I'm in the race, I've actually done it beforehand, because in practice I was thinking about it and thinking about, obviously there's going to be unknowns, there's different people and such, but I visualized myself in the pack of competitors, just relaxing and going through the rough patches. And sometimes I'll just sing a song to myself and try to tune it out. I really like Adele, so I'll just listen to an Adele song or something like that. And then, yeah, just embracing the different challenges going through the rough patches. We get our bottles every 3 miles in the marathon, so I'll think about just get to the next water stop if I get really tired, and going through the different aspects of the course. There's downhills, uphills, so thinking about just being really strong on the uphills and downhills, thinking about my form. So sometimes you're in the race, sometimes you're thinking about your post-race pizza or whatever you're gonna do, thinking about your family. I visualize my dad waiting at the finish line, thinking about the people that support me. Michael was there in Boston 2017 in his muscle suit. So I think about him waiting at the finish line, and you get crazy people out on marathon courses too with different signs saying funny stuff. So sometimes I look at those too and just try to make myself laugh, I think a big thing is just turning any negative emotion into a positive thing. So in any race, and you guys have this, there's always going to be doubts, and you're trying to beat people and you're thinking, oh gosh, this girl's looking a lot better than me, or I feel terrible, and you're not going to be able to erase those entirely, but if you can kind of transform it into a positive as soon as you can, that's like a little trick. So if someone's pulling away from you, just visualize yourself tying a rope around your butt or something. Sometimes I just think that I'm just stick to the butt, and then I see myself trying to pull her in, and little tricks like that. So never give up on yourself. It's not over until you cross the line. So whatever you can do to make yourself laugh, and that's gonna make you just calm down and not tense up, and then you never know what can happen. So just never give up in the race. Yeah.
What's your average pace during practice?
It depends on the workout. You guys, what are some workouts that you guys do? You guys do mile repeats?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've done, my best mile repeats is 6 times a mile, and I've averaged 4:45. for those. So, but I mean, when I was your guys' age, I think my best for the mile was 4:50. So I progressed a long time. It's all, you have a huge progression, and then right now well, my time, so for the marathon for 26.2 miles, my PR, the average pace per mile for that is 5:22. So I need to get down, if I want the American record, it's average of 5:19. So a lot of my runs, if I'm doing a tempo run, 10 or 11 miles, I'll run that at 5:19 pace. Yeah.
Has there been like a moment in your running career that made you want to quit, or have you ever like had thoughts of quitting?
Yeah, definitely. That's a really good question. So in 2016, I was trying out for the Olympics, and I was focusing on the 10K, 6 miles on the track, and I needed to finish top 3 to go to the Olympics in Rio, and I finished 13th, which is basically last. There's 13 girls in the race, so it was very devastating. And at that point, I kind of almost thought about quitting running. My dad was even like, hey, maybe we should put that business degree to use. But I just believed that it was my gift, and I enjoyed it. So I decided to switch to the longer distances, the half marathon and marathon. So I started doing longer runs. I started doing 20-mile long runs, and now I'm the second fastest American in the marathon, so luckily I didn't quit. So it just kind of shows you that sometimes there's a bigger plan for you, and if you aren't hitting it right in one thing, then just maybe you need to make some changes, but there's always going to be something out there, so never give up. Yeah.
Are you superstitious? What do you think about cutting your hair before we
Well, it's good to have no superstitions, because if you have socks that you have to wear all the time and you forget them, then you might really freak out. So I try to have no superstitions, although I do like to have new socks before a race. I usually do that. And I usually do get my hair trimmed before a race, like an inch or two, just to feel fresh. But so I'm not like.
What about like nutrition before a race? Is there something you usually eat before a race, or a certain time that you eat something before a race?
Usually the morning of the race, I think it's good, so I always tell people whatever you test it first in practice, so obviously don't go try my meal that I'm telling you if you've never tried it before a race, but I like to have oatmeal and peanut butter and banana and coffee before a race, pretty much 2 hours out, so pretty simple. Other common things are just like bagel and peanut butter,